Hey everyone, and welcome to Isms by Josie. Today we're going to be doing part 2 of the cactus from Crafter Square kit that I got from the Dollar Tree. For my returning subscribers, thank you so much for tuning in. And for my new viewers, please consider subscribing, share, hit that like button, leave a comment below, and click on that notification bell for future videos. So today, you guys, we're going to sew together the cactus. We did all the parts for it. We made the head and the cactus ball. We did the flower pot. We did the soil, the branch, and the flower. So now we're gonna try sewing this all up. Before I hit record, I saw something in the flower that just really ticked me off. So we're just gonna have to go over that when we get there. But there is an issue with that we did in last video. So I'm not a sewer, so please, you can try following what I'm doing, but whatever I'm doing is not gonna be like the end all be all. You have your own way to do it. If you know more than sewing than I do, go ahead and do it your way. I'm just trying to figure this out, and I'm just so mad I saw this illustration right now. Anyway, so let's sew the flower pot together and stuff it with fiberfill. Okay, so it looks like I don't need to stuff anything else other than the pot, so I'm going to take the remaining fiberfill that I have, and we're just going to put this in here. It should be enough for the pot, and it is. Okay. And so I love how you can't see squat. But we're going to be sewing on the soil. So what I'm going to do is, because I had to use, this is like clearly two different colors. I didn't have, or at least I didn't even bother to look if I had a green similar to this. So I'm going to sew part of this using this, and then the rest using the black. So at least I can have a decent amount of green to sew that soil on, and it won't look too bad. But I tell you, this is a cute cactus. I just wish that they gave you more material. Okay, so I'm going to start at the far end here, and we're just going to sew this around. Let me see, actually there's a lip. We're going to want to try to sew below the, whatchamacallit here? The, in a pot, what is that? The top band? Oh god. Alright, let's actually take this out because it's too fluffy. Alright, so what I'm going to do is we're going to ride along below the double crochet stitches. So just below the double crochet stitches. Okay, like here. Don't pull it too tight, or otherwise you'll pull this with and it'll pinch. Just want it to travel down to this spot comfortably. Okay. Then I'm going to stick this at the first, over here on this end, so that hopefully I can get around. Hopefully I have enough yarn to go around, and then just meet this guy up and then sew around this way. But we'll see if we have enough. But we're just going to sew this around inside. And then I guess once we finish up with the green, that would probably be our cue to fill with fiberfill. And hopefully this doesn't end up being a long video. This video is all about just sewing the pieces together. I can imagine that some of you have already just gone ahead after part 1 and just sewn your pieces together. Just in case there are those who are waiting for me to sew it together, we are doing this video together. I must say, out of all of the characters I've done so far, this one has been the quickest to do, but in terms of me liking the project, this is probably my least favorite, because I feel like the construction of it is just a little too complicated for me. It might not be for other people. And I know the panda had a lot of parts, but I personally just find this one to be a little confusing. I'm not liking that the first set of instructions of the 6 characters, I think no, they don't. I think it needs to be clear whether or not you start off with the magic ring or not, but I honestly think I read in the instructions that each piece does start with the magic ring, and it just didn't click. So I guess that's partially my fault, because the flower was supposed to be completed with the magic ring, but it's like, it's different. How the heck do you do that? All right, so I've got to my last green. I have a little bit left. What I'm gonna do now is just tie this together so that it doesn't go anywhere, and then I'm going to continue sewing the rest with the black. So right now you should have like a basket. I'm going to put the fiber fill inside, and then I'm also going to thread up this needle. Okay, so stuff this in here. Make sure you tuck in those frizzy fiber fill ends in there so that you don't accidentally sew it in your project, but now it is going to be difficult to see what you're doing. So if you can, hold off putting your fiber fill in till much later. And now that I have a different color, we're going to have a black band there, but you know what? I ran out of material. Hopefully you guys didn't run out of material, but I wouldn't be surprised if you did. almost there. Okay, I guess when you get all the way around, just figure out a way to tie it all together. Okay, I'm going to cut this off. And then, like I do with the other parts, just come in just under the surface, come up where the excess piece is, and then we're going to yarn over and drag that into the project. Caught in something. Okay. Alright, so we have our pot. Let's see what it looks like on the... So you can't... It kind of blends, but you can see that there's a black line from where we use the black yarn. Our pot has turned into a bulbous pot, but that's okay. Alright, sew the cactus onto the flower pot, add the branch and the bud. Okay, so I don't have much of this. So hopefully this will be enough. But I guess I could just go around, so we have like 6. I'm gonna plop this. Oh my gosh, look how cute. Oh, stop. Okay, let's find a spot here. Getting real hard to even see what I'm doing. I'm just using the stitches of the cactus ball and then that inner ring of the soil, because I believe that each piece has 6 stitches in the center and in this head, so I think it'll be okay to match it up with each other. Okay. And once we get all the way around, again, figure out your way of tying things. Okay, I'm going to cut this down a little bit, and then I'm going to come up just under the surface, come up where the excess piece is, yarn over, and then drag it into the project. Okay, so now we have our head on our pot. Now we have to sew the branch on and the bud. So, let's pull out, where is this now? Okay. All right, this photo. We have little buds on here. Those look like French knots. If you're a cross stitcher, you'll know what that means. It also means I can't do that. Oh man, I dabble in some cross stitching and I can't do a French knot to save my life. So I'm just gonna do it however I feel I can do it. If you are a cross stitcher and you can do a French knot, you are awesome, and I will not be doing that. Okay, so it looks like this guy's kind of attached to the head. It doesn't specify where. So let's see. Use dark pink yarn, wind the plastic needle to make a bud, tie, and cut the excess yarn. Oh, it tells you how to do the French knot without telling you it's a French knot. But I'm telling you that I cannot do it to save my life. I don't know how to do it. So okay, and then once you get to the other side, I know it's at the front for me right now, so I'm going to direct my little stitches to the back. So however you do it, just get the needle to the back side, and then I can come in and figure out a way to tie my own knot. But I like to keep it in the back so that you don't really notice it. Okay, cut it off. Then we're going to go right under the surface, come up where the excess piece is, yarn over, and drag it into your project. Okay, now we can do the bud. So for the bud, it actually tells you, use dark pink yarn, wind the plastic needle, yarn wind in the plastic needle to make the bud, tie and cut the excess yarn, leave a yarn tail for sewing. Hoopla hoopla, not gonna do it. Is what I read. I don't know what you read, but that's what I read. I don't know. I'm just gonna do balls on top of here. And I'm gonna use these stitches to kind of help me. So I am putting it through the branch, and I'm making this up as I go. So and then tie my knot. Okay, I'm going to come up from within the branch, pop up somewhere near that excess piece. I'm going to yarn over and drag that into the project to hide that. Okay, so now I can come in with my needle and just sew away. So it just needs to look like a ball on top of this thing. So however you do it, let me see, I'm going to try it leaving like a little loop like this and do a second one and make a second loop about the same size as the first loop, And then I'm just gonna stick my needle through both loops, and then that's my bud. I'm gonna go back into that hole and pop out in another hole. Okay, and I'll just do the same thing. Oh man. Make my first loop. Okay, go back in. Make my second loop. Same size. I'm just gonna creep up in here. And then go back into the hole, come out from another spot. Do the same thing. Back up through here. Then I think I'll do one more, and I want to come up here. Okay, then I'm going to come back down into this hole here. I'm just going to come out from the side and tie knot. That knot's going to end up looking like another bud. Two. Okay. I'm gonna grab my hook, get in here, come up next to the excess piece, yarn over, and we're gonna drag it into the project. Okay. There's my branch with my buds. Not perfect, but close enough. Alright, so the pink flower on the cactus. Now, this flower unfortunately was supposed to be in the magic ring, and how you construct that is beyond me. I didn't think about it, but here's how I'm gonna fix it. So we pretty much need to scrunch this into all together. So I'm just gonna scoop all of this threading, and it might not be perfect, but it's okay. Right, leave this excess piece here. Gonna continue going back in, because it's a circle, it's gonna be hard to do all of it all at once. You gotta have to do them in sections, and again, it doesn't need to be perfect. You just need to get into this ring. Okay, and once you've done that, now you can pull it. So hold on to this end, hold on to this end, pull this flower together until the hole is gone. You can possibly just tie it and hope for the best. There you go. I'm going to double knot it. Okay, triple knot it if you want. And they do have like this little nubby in here. So while I'm here, I guess I'll take the opportunity and kind of make that. How they don't explain how to make it. But I guess this is the bud. I guess do the French knot if you know how to do it. I'm just going to crisscross applesauce. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, close enough. Okay, do that for a little bit. You can actually go in here and pull this onto the other side, and we can tie it around the back. So yarn over and drag that on the other side like that. And then I can take my I'm just going to do this a couple of times, and then I'm going to put my needle in the back like this. Okay. Then I'm going to take the two pieces and just tie them together. Let's go 3 times just to make sure. And then I'm going to cut them off. Okay. And so now I'm going to thread up this pink flower piece, and I'm going to sew it on to the head. So here's what they kind of have. It's kind of sticking out like this. Oh my gosh, this is too cute. So find your moment here. Okay, and then I'm just going to tie this around the back. Where is my hook? That, oh, here it is. Come up just under the surface, grab that excess piece, pull it into the project, and we, my friends, are done with the cactus. Yay! So here's what it's supposed to look like, and this is what we ended up with. not too bad. Close enough. I sewed the eyes on because it's pet and child friendly. Okay. And then the black soil is back here, but you'll never know, except for this black line. There's probably too much stuffing in the pot, which made it a little bulbous, but that's okay. Yeah, and that's that. So comment below, let me know what you think. Let me know how yours went. I think this is really cute. So next we, per request, we're going to do the bee. And then after the bee, we're going to do the dinosaur. So I do have a business trip coming up. So if I don't put out the bee right away, it'll be when I come back. But we also have a Crafter Square cross stitch kit that I have to do. I was requested to do the letter S. So I don't have the materials or the kit, but I do have materials that I have to do something similar. It's more on a larger scale, but should be interesting. So yeah, that is that, you guys. I'm so happy I got this done. Now we can move on to the next characters. Thank you so much, you guys, for watching. This is Isms by Josie. Please share, like, and subscribe for future videos. And I'll see you again next time. Thanks. Bye.